Hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you. As we have started the chapter Business Environment, and in the previous class, we have already discussed the different dimensions or the essential elements or the components of business environment, especially the components of external business environment, which affects the business enterprise much or more. In that components, one component which we have studied in the previous class, that was economic environment or economic component. As we know that economic environment contains the rules or regulation of economy or rules and regulation implemented by the various government regarding the controlling or making the balance of economic growth of, of the country. So in this part, for growth and development of Indian economy, the government of India has announced new economic policy in July 1991. And this announcement was made due to slow or not slow, very slow growth of Indian economy or economic environment of India. And due to slow growth of economy, due to very less economic growth, the Indian government has taken a step for introducing NEP, New Economic Policy, or it is also known as New Industrial Policy 1991. In this policy, the government has initiated so many terms, and in this term, first is only 6 industries were kept under licensing scheme. It means the licensing of the companies were, the restriction for licensing of each and every companies were removed. It were only for 6 types of industries. Next was the role of public sector was limited. As we know, total 25 sectors were there, but only 4 sectors were in the sectors of industries were in the hand of public sector, and rests were in the hand of private sectors. So all the terms were going to be privatized. Next was disinvestment was carried out in many public sector enterprise, and after that the foreign capital investment or foreign direct investment policy was liberalized, and in many sector 100% direct foreign investment was allowed, because previously it was restricted only for investment of 60% or 40% in few of the industries. It means foreign investors can invest only there, only 50%, only 40% or 60% in the particular industries of in India. So they remove the hindrance of investment limitation in Indian market, and after that in the economic environment they create a change by giving automatic permission was given for signing technology agreement with foreign companies. Previously, if any company is required to make the changes in its technology, if they wanted to hire the technology from the foreign countries or foreign companies, then they must have to take permission for so many from so many authorities, and due to getting the permission from so many authorities, the channel of the getting permission of from the authorities were too much longer or longer, and due to the longer channel of getting the permission, the technologies which are required today, they come after the month. That's why The government has taken the initiative to remove the sign-in permission, and each and every company who are required for any technology, they can directly make the agreement from the foreign companies, and they can directly purchase the technology from the foreign companies. And next is Foreign Investment Promotion Board. FIPB was set up to promote and bring foreign investment in India, because as we know that until or unless foreign investment will not come in India, it is quite impossible to maintain foreign currency fund. So in foreign currency fund, if we do not have sufficient amount, then it is quite impossible to import the goods from the foreign, because at the time of payment, at the time of import, we need the payment in foreign currency, and if we do not have the foreign currency stock, then it is quite impossible to import the goods. And still, if we are importing the goods, then we have to pay more and more amount for purchasing the globally accepted currency, that is for dollars. Next is various benefits were offered to small scale industries. So in the case of business environment, economic environment changes in India after introducing new economic policy. And in this new economic policy, the policy has not kept in mind only the large scale industries, but also the small scale industries too. Now here are the three strategies. There were so many provisions in 1991 economic changes or economic reforms, but these economic reforms or these new economic the new economic policy 1991 was completely based on or focused on the three terms, that was LPG: liberalization, privatization and globalization. So first of all, we will study liberalization, and after that privatization, and after that globalization. Here you can see under the term liberalization, the government already stated that be liberal towards the industries for its growth and development, provide some kinds of relaxation and remove the restrictions from the licensing policy to establish the business. As we know, more industries will be set up, the organization or the country will be more benefited. So for providing liberalization, especially in the case of private sector, they did something. First is they abolished the licensing policy, or it was not required or it was not mandatory for each and every business enterprise. Next was freedom in deciding the scale of operation, whether they want to operate from large scale industries or in a small scale industries. They were free, there were no restriction, and they can easily shift themselves from large scale to small scale or from small scale to large scale. Next is removal of restriction on movement of goods and services. They can easily move their goods and services. Next is freedom from fixing the prices. Before this, so many acts were there, like FERA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, or other MRTP Act, Monopolistic Retail Trade Restricted Trade Practice Act. And due to this act, the industries were not free, the companies were not free for fixing up the price. Now after introducing NEP 1991, the restriction on fixing the prices were removed, and now the industries were free to fix the price. Next were reducing in tax rates and unnecessary controls. And after that, next is simplifying procedure for import and export. Previously, the export and import policy was too much complex. Regarding the export and import business, each and every exporter and importer needs so many documentation, and due to fulfilling the documentation, it takes too much time. And due to liberalization, it become easier to import and export the goods from the foreign market. Now, next is making it easy to attract foreign capital. And due to liberalization, foreign capital were easy to be attracted. Now next term which the government was introduced, that was privatization. Under the term privatization, it refers to the reduction of the role of public sector in the economy of the country. It means the ownership and the control of the public sector is going to be transferred to private sector by making the disinvestment in public sector. The government has completely fold their hands and leave the public sector and or sold the public sector to private sector to operate it or to grow it. And due to this decision, so many public sectors were come under the hand of private sector, and due to coming under the hand of private sector, these sectors are now running in better position. These sectors are providing the services in better way in context of the public sector, as these were in the hand of government, because government were too much burdenful, and due to privatization the burden of the government become very less. Now the smooth functioning of all the sectors were easy. After that, lease of public enterprise to private sector, and for this purpose the government started providing the public sector to private sector on lease basis or on ownership basis or on controlling basis. Next is transfer of management to the public enterprise to private sector. And after that, for privatization, to achieve the privatization in India, the government redefined the role of public sector and private sector. For this purpose, they adopted a policy of planned disinvestment of the public sector and referred the loss making and risk and sick units to the Board of Industrial Financial Reconstruction. It means those industries who are suffering from loss, or those industries which are sick industries, it means those industries which are not operating in, or which are not in the well position, which are not in the well condition, the situation is too much critical, or the company or the industry is suffering from loss from previous 3 or 4 continuous years. The government has constructed BIFR, Board of Industrial Financial Reconstruction Board, and due to under this BIFR, Sikh industrial policy has been implemented, and due to Sikh industrial policy, so many companies or industries were declared as Sikh, and for these Sikh industries, the government did not let them to die, but they allow so many private company to take over these Sikh industries under their hand for growth and development of the Sikh industries, as well as the private industries too. So due to upliftment or taken over by the Sikh industries by private sectors, it can be easy to remove or to provide the financial support or any kind of support to the Sikh industries or the industries who are suffering from the financial losses or crisis. Now next is globalization. G for globalization. So as we know and as we were studying regarding the globalization, it means comply the term or apply all the earth as a country and leave or remove the boundary of LOC in context of the business, but not in context of the safety and other things or resources. So in the case of globalization, the new economic policy has made some changes, and that was, first is integrating the economy of a country with the economies of other countries to facilitate freer flow of trade, capital, person and technology across the borders. It leads to the emergence of cohesive global economy. So due to globalization, the foundation on the flow of trade, capital and persons were removed, and now these things, these terms were free to move in any country, or any country. There is no border regarding these terms for growth and development of the economy and combining the Indian economy with world economy. Next is, till 1991, the government of India had followed a policy strictly regulating imports in value and volume terms. These regulations were with respect to licensing of imports, B, tariff restriction, and C, quantitative restriction. It means before the 1991, the government has so many restricted or restricted policy regarding import terms. So after considering the globalization, so many restrictions were removed, like tariff restrictions, quantitative restrictions. It means quantity which were fixed, or the percentage of the investments were fixed, that were removed, and licensing for import were also removed. Next is, in 1991, it means NEP 91, it advocated rapid advancement of technology and direct trade liberalization towards import liberalization, export promotion towards rationalization on the tariff structure, and reforms related to foreign exchange. So the Indian economic environment has changed due to globalization, and it has made so many drastic changes which helps in the growth and which helped in the growth and development of the economy, especially industrial growth. As we have discussed the term of economic reforms, these economic reforms were implemented by the Indian government under the economic reforms, under new economic policy. So what were its impact on the business or on the industries? Let us discuss. First impact regarding this policy was, it increases the competition. Yes, because due to interruption of foreign companies or foreign industries in country, it increases the level of competition in Indian firms. Next is more demanding customers. Previously the customers have no choice. Now due to more companies, more industries in the same product, in the same field, in the market, that's why now the customers have the opportunity, the customers have their choices, and due to increase in the choice, they started demanding more and more terms. Next is rapid changing technological environment. Due to globalization, it become easy to change the technology as it is required with minimum cost, and maximum production possibility. So as the technology change, we can easily grab it, and due to technological change, it will become easy to make the production easier and cheaper. Next is necessity for change. 1991 was required in India because since 1956, after the first industrial revolution, there were no change in Indian economic market. So in Indian economy, the companies or industries were running ruthlessly as in the market. There were no interest, they were doing the job, they were providing the services as usual, and there were so many formalities and each and every one were tired. So performing one term, there were so many restrictions, there were so many limitations, there were so many formalities. So it was the demand of the time, and due to the demand of the time, these changes were necessary, and these changes adapted were adopted by business environment instantly. Next is need for developing human resource. As the changes occurred, now the changes impact on the development of the human resource also, because now the human resource become more competitive, more efficient, and more productive, and they were increasing their effectiveness and efficiency by using the technology. Next effect is the market orientation. Now each and every work were market oriented. It means earlier the selling concept was famous in the market. Now its place is taken by the marketing concept, because previously what the things are going to be produced by the producer, the consumer can use, or the consumer can consume only those things. But due to new economic policy, due to existence of so many foreign companies, now they have choice and preferences, and due to choice and preferences, the selling concept has been completely finished. Now the concept was marketing, and marketing does not mean only to sell. Marketing means production of the goods on the choice of the customer, and by keeping in view the choice of the customer or the taste of the customer, and getting their feedback regarding the satisfaction level. So it changes the complete scenario of economic, not only economic environment, but also the social environment too. Next is reduction in budgetary support to public sector, because most of the sectors were given in the hand of private enterprise. That's why the burden on the public sector, especially related to the budgetary support, were reduced. So these were few effect of economic reforms. Now dear students, now I think you all have learned about the new economic reforms and economic environment involved in India. And if we are talking about the recent changes, recent economic reforms, that is demonetization. Yes, recently the Indian government has made the changes in the policy and introduced demonetization. And under the demonetization, as we know well, that the existing currency of 500 and 1000 were completely banned, and this was done for collecting the black money from the market. And due to this action, so many industries who were collected a huge amount of capital or huge amount of black money, Now they were restricted, and the monopoly or the parallel governments who were approaching or who were running in the market, now these terms has been completely controlled by the government. So there are so many economic reforms. Now government is trying to make economic reforms again and again, and time to time government also used to make some changes. So these reforms always impact on the economic environment of the industries, which must be adopted by the each and every industries, so that they can survive and they can make their growth and development in proper way. They can take it as opportunity but not as risk. So dear students, now I think today this chapter is completed. If you have any doubt, you can ask to me. Thank you.